Hey everyone, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for Project Life Week 26. We're halfway through the year, so if you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. What's up, friends? It's Jem with ChappyPlans. How are you today? Happy Monday. I am excited to be back in my project life in my craft room, documenting all the things the last few days of Nora's school year in the beginning of our trip to Michigan for the summer. And just showing you some of the things I might be using here. I've got a lot, mostly all of the cards are from Stories by the Month kit from Allie Edwards. I have lots of stamp sets. And most of the embellishments I'm going to use are also from the Stories by the Month kits. So now I'm going to speed it up and continue to do the voiceover so you can see everything that I am going to do to put these pages together. So I had to go ahead and already pre-populate my pockets as usual, especially this week because there was so much to document. So I am basically just going to be embellishing it and talking you through what I'm doing in this video because I already put together where all the photos are going to go and all the pocket cards and all that good stuff. I'm going to go dip into this stash I have of die cuts, labels that my friend Jenny Garcia sent me a long time ago, and try to use some of those here and there. So I'm working on the title card, and this one is not part of Stories by the Month. It's from, gosh, I don't even know what story kit, but it just says never ever underestimate the importance of having fun, which I thought made perfect sense for the week since it was like, you know, the last few days of school, which included field day, and then like the last day of school is an hour and a half long. It's so stupid. And then we left right from there to drive out to Ohio en route to Michigan. So the sentiment on the card made sense, but the colors also worked really well. There were tons and tons of photos that I did not include. So I will be doing a separate album for documenting our summer vacation, or in air quotes, I say vacation, because we stayed in 3 different hotels and 2 different families' homes in the 9 days that we were gone, which is bananas. So that being said, I will be doing a separate album to include all of the details, the ephemera, all the things and stories from the trip that we just got back from. And I will include those over on my Patreon page. So if that's something you're interested in checking out and you want more process videos and behind the scenes scrapbooking related content and all the things, definitely check out the link in my description box because you can see the intro video where it explains the tiers. I have 3 tiers possible for you. And just there's only a few of us right now, but it's so much fun. And I really, 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 truly love being able to connect with my Chappy fam in this way. It's so exciting to, and it's really refreshing too, because I feel less filtered there. So it's a little bit crazy, but definitely check it out. So you saw me use some of my go-to puffy stickers. I always like to have some on my photos or on my cards. So I use the ones that I have from American Greetings rather, and then the puffy stickers I have left over from a Paper Person Shop kit. So I had a really hard time with like finding, I don't know, like I wanted to make these cards work that had the days of the week. So, and I thought the bright colors were perfect for like, you know, school and summer. So all I did was add a chipboard piece to the center of each one of them so that they weren't completely like bare. So I could have left them blank, but I wanted something on them. So I just put June 2024 on the Monday one. And the photo on the top is Nora and her friend spelling out the school and then the school that they attend with chalk during field day. And then there's a photo I have of Nora in the middle of an egg spoon race. And I'm using these little like phrase stamps that are so much fun from Everyday Explorers. And it just says this moment with it's got a little camera icon there. And these puffy stickers really didn't make a ton of sense. Like for the spread, they're literally just like sprinkles of color. That's really their only purpose on some of these photos or pockets. And then on this card, I'm going to journal. I thought it was perfect because it said slow down, but literally Nora has to slow down because she's carrying an egg and a spoon. So I thought that was pretty perfect. And so I'm just going to journal about field day and how I was like the only person there. from PTA, and I handed out ice pops, and it was just a really great day for the kids. They did like relay races, duck duck splash. The fifth grade class played a game of kickball against the teachers, so it was a lot of fun. It was like a half day, so they were out of school by 10:20 that day. And those are the only two pictures I have from before we left for our trip to Michigan. So actually, the bottom photos, it says Wednesday, but those photos are actually from, I want to say like Friday, because Thursday and Friday, because Wednesday we were in Cedar Point. So I don't know why I did that, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. No one's gonna look at it and be like, oh, that date does not go with exactly with those photos, because who else would know but me and my family. So anyways, this photo is of Nora and her two younger girl cousins. The only one missing was Sutton, because they weren't at the house we were at for dinner. So my in-laws live in one part of Michigan, and Matt's twin brother, his wife, and their daughter Fiona, who's all the way over on the left, the littlest one, they live like not even a mile down the road from the in-laws. So we went there for dinner when we got into town that day. And so I just love that picture of the three of them. They were just in the kitchen waiting for dinner to be ready. And then the picture of Nora and Fiona in the pool was taken the next day. I forgot about these little chipboard geotags from Studio Calico, so I wanted to add those in a couple of different places. And then, oh, there's the picture of the two of them in the pool. So we just had a couple of chill days in Michigan before we left for Gaylord, which is up north, for the 90th birthday party, which is the whole reason we were there. So I just embellished that Wednesday card with finding our rhythm, and then I'm gonna decide to go back over to, well, I'm not sure what's happening. I forget, even though I just did this yesterday. Oh, I needed to fix the date. That's what I did. I need to go back and fix the date on the picture of the cousins. And then I'm going to stamp the date on this one. And moving on, here you can see the close-ups in real time. All right, so I am going to work on this middle insert, which is like a smaller pocket page insert from, I think, Hobby Lobby. It works for this size album, so I'm using them. I purchased them years ago when I had no idea what I was doing with scrapbooking. And the reason my photos are out of order, which again, no one's gonna know but me, is because I wanted to use this insert only for photos from our trip to Cedar Point, because there were so many photos from this part of our leg of the trip, if you will. So these photos took place on a Wednesday. The photos from Nora and her cousins, those were Thursday and Friday. Just FYI, just so you know, in case you're like, you caught it or you're wondering why. You probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't say anything, but hashtag OCD. Also over-explainer. And so I'm using this label because I didn't like the way it looked when I stamped Amusement Park directly on the picture of Nora with the Cedar Point sign behind her. And that little die cut that says Heart Bursting Happiness Comes From This was from the Hobby Story Kit. And these cards, like the embellishments this year, are so big that I feel like they stand alone as their own like element in a pocket. So I just layered it on top of the vellum, which is something new that I've been doing, which isn't anything new probably to anyone who's been scrapping for any length of time. But for me, I just like stumbled upon this as a creative idea, and I was like, oh, that's a great way for me to use the vellum. I should layer like the bigger die cut pieces on top of the vellum if it works, like, you know, color wise and design wise and all of that, because I have a hard time using the vellum too. So I think that it turned out really cute. And then on the inside, this is just a flip out I created by taping the photos together and then putting a ledger card on the back. I just get these from Studio Calico. They're great for journaling or for trying to like kind of make your own pocket card. So I'm just talking about how all those photos are from the Gemini, which was one of the roller coasters we rode. And we rode literally every roller coaster that we possibly could, as long as it wasn't shut down or, you know, not operating. So on that, I don't know why it says Thursday. I don't think it was Thursday when we did that. Oh, it was. Never mind. And then I flipping over to the back side, I found another card that worked out perfectly. It's got spot for journaling and it says today's details, and instead of like writing the everything out, I just did a bullet list of every ride that we did using my Zig Clean color dot marker, and I'm just using a Muji gel pen in a 0.38. I love that size nib. I tend to write pretty hard, so while it looks very fine for most folks, for me it kind of looks like a medium tipped pen because I push heavily. I'm an aggressive writer. Okay, and then the picture of Nora and Matt in front of the Millennium Forest sign is something we're going to have to do every year because the first year she wrote it was last year, and I have a picture of them in front of it. So, of course, I was like, let's do it again. Here I'm asking my husband what the heck the name of the ride was because I couldn't remember. And so I whited it out like 2 times in case you were wondering what I was doing. It's called Wind Seeker. It's like one of those really tall swings that it's like insanely high. I don't even know how many 100 feet up in the air it is, but it was really fun. Usually those make me nauseous, but it was so high up. I think I was more distracted by that than like the circular motion because circular rides make me sick, but I can do like just about any roller coaster. I'm going to mess up on this. I don't like the way it turned out, so I'm gonna have to replace it with a different label. And I just stamped favorite ride. Those stamps are from Paper Person Shop, which are no longer available. And I have very sad feelings about the way Paper Person went out and took my money and did not give me my products. So anyways, that's a story for another day. And if you want to know the tea on that, DM me. I'm not bitter or anything, but I mean, come on, money is money, right? And if you're paying for something, you expect to get the product if they're going to take your money. Anywho, once I embellish this photo, I'm going to move on to the picture of Nora in front of the sign for the Val Raven, which was probably my favorite coaster. You can see I'm struggling here and hesitating, even though this is sped up to 4 times. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this because I didn't want to add too much. I think the heart pattern is, or the lines on the heart, the pattern is pretty loud, so I didn't want to do too much. And the picture of Nora is perfection, and I don't think I need to add any embellishments. Same thing with this picture I took as we were like walking out towards the entrance of the park. I just loved it and I wanted to keep it simple. So I actually only added the one puffy sticker to the top of that label, and that is it. I just said that the park hits differently when everything's lit up at night. Something like that, or something about it looking magical. I decided that this card with the heart looked naked at the top and I didn't like my random journaling on the bottom, so I just stamped riding the roller coasters. Still didn't like the way it looked. They both still look too random and not grounded at all. So I decided to take the pen side of this Zig marker and underline, and I think that turned out pretty good. So yep, you can see the little yellow lines there. I think that added a little something. And then the last part of this last week in my first volume of Project Life, holy crap, is, wow. We just finished 26 weeks out of the year. That's crazy to me. Okay, so this is Nora and her cousin Justin. Unfortunately, this was the only time she saw him because I can't really get into details. But let's just say that it is difficult for his family to make accommodations to make plans with us when we're there, which is twice a year. And again, not bitter about that at all. Yes, I am. I'm totally bitter. But they love each other very much, and Nora was very, very sad that she only got to see him for this short period of time, but at least I got a couple of pictures. So I just took my white gel pen and wrote Nora and Justin because of the black background of that die cut that says June Moments, and then I wrote that was the only day they had together and put a frowny face because it wasn't great that was the only time they saw each other was at Grandma's 90th birthday party. So I made a bunch of little photos into this 3x4 photo here of the cousins making funny faces. Some of the cousins, not all of them, are there in that particular picture. And my husband, Matt, and there's Justin's dad, Josh, there in the middle of that kind of cluster of photos. Then I am going to use this other die cut to journal about some things that didn't necessarily get photographed or talked about much in this week's spread. So normally I delete the part where I'm writing, but there's so much journaling, I'm just going to leave it in. But on Monday, I wrote what luncheon? That time the principal lied and blamed his dropping the ball on PTA because after field day, there was supposed to be a teacher luncheon that is his responsibility to put on. However, last year PTA did pay for it, but he did all the ordering and all of that kind of stuff. I just wrote the check. And I was leaving the school after field day and he was like, so when's the food getting here? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, the teacher luncheon. And I was like, yeah, no, you never asked me about it. So he sent out an email to all the teachers saying it was the PTA's mistake that we didn't cover this particular luncheon since we already paid for Teacher Appreciation Week luncheon during Teacher Appreciation Week, which is BS. So that is what that story is about. And if you've been following me for a while, I've been PTA president for 2 years. Well, that put the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, this is, if nothing else is affirmation that I needed to be done, that was it. So there's more to the story, but it was very, 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 very irritating and disappointing. But fortunately, the teachers knew that it was not my fault, or they wouldn't have sent me a screenshot of the email that he sent, because he ironically, coincidentally, did not send it to me, but sent it to the rest of the staff at the school. So anyhow, that was Monday. Tuesday, I wrote clean and packing day. Wednesday, I wrote last day of school, goodbye New York, hello Ohio. For Thursday, I wrote Cedar Point all day. Friday, goodbye Ohio, hello Michigan, dinner at Sam and Jesse's. Renee, Fiona, and Nora played. Saturday, Apple Store, Lululemon, Sephora, Gap, J. Crew, and Horrocks, because it was like a bunch of shopping and stores and things we went to. And Sunday was Carolyn's 90th birthday and dinner at the Duck Blind Grill. The picture of Nora holding her cousin Fiona is just the sweetest photo. And we were outside after dinner on this gorgeous hillside. We had this beautiful view of these hills that are used for like snowboarding and skiing. And we took a bunch of pictures out there because it's very rare that all 5 brothers are together. So I just embellished it with the die cut that says don't blink and wrote Nora and Fiona on it. And then the photo of the brothers, that was the 4x6 photo I actually took. And I just kept it simple and embellished it with today. I cut down a card, a bigger die cut card, and made it work and added a geotag chipboard piece. And on this top card that says the story of life right now, this big 4x6 card, I wrote quite a bit on. And I'm not going to read it all because it's just so much, but I'm basically talking about Nora growing and being a big 4th grader now, finishing 3rd grade, and all the traveling we did in this 9-day trip to Michigan. How my volume button got destroyed on my phone because Nora and her uncles were playing the heads up game at one of the houses one night, and somehow the button stopped working. I don't know how, but the next morning I realized my volume button wasn't working, and so we took it to the Apple Store, and they said, yep, we can't fix it. You need to replace the whole outer piece, which is going to cost me $100, which is better than nothing because I do have Apple Care, but they didn't have the part, so I'm just going to wait. I was just going to wait at that point till I got back to New York to get it replaced, which I still have yet to do because life has been crazy. We've only been back for like 4 days, and I feel like I am still running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And the last thing is me just writing on this June 3 things card, talking about all the end of the year school stuff equals an overtired mama, and how Inside Out 2 was a wonderful movie. We all really loved it, and how this Michigan quote vacation is going to be a memorable one. So that is it for this really, really busy week. There was quite a bit to get on paper and photos to share, and it was quite difficult to decide which ones could make it made the cut and which ones are going to be in a separate scrapbook process video and separate album. But I do love the way these pages turned out. I think the colors work really, really well, thanks to Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kits that are my fave. And yeah, I'm super loving this. So definitely give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you subscribe if you're not, and hit the bell so you don't miss my content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for being here, Chappy fam. You guys are the best. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Take care, and remember, you are enough. Bye.